Greetings from Costa Rica. You got a sneak peek of River Amrita for a minute. She woke up this morning singing Walk Like an Egyptian. Walk like an Egyptian. Walk like an Egyptian. So that's how we started the day. And then I had a dream this morning. I have a dream. No, I woke up, I think it was it felt like hours that I just kept repeating and working with the crystalline DNA. It was like crystalline, or it was galactic time, galactic DNA, galactic synchronization, rainbow DNA. It was like that just kept repeating over and over, like in a dreamlike state, with just crystal rainbow. And so we're in the Wavespell. We're in the 13-day cycle of the blue night, which is about the dreams, actually, and intuition and abundance. And so I always say during every cycle, pay attention to your dreams, but in particular, what comes to you in this cycle. We're on day 11 right now, which is, or 10, sorry, 192 yellow planetary human. And it has the flavor of, I put some keywords: perfect influence, wisdom, free will, manifestation, and universal fire. So we're rolling into that. And in the no time, no space, we're also unlocking the gene key. So we're weaving and synchronizing all of these different systems, and we're collapsing the time. So it's just all access, cosmic library, time travelers. In any given moment, we focus our attention there, and there it is. And so that's what we're doing with this galactic synchronization, which has to do with your genetics and time, your DNA, your crystalline DNA, moving from the carbon to the crystalline. In order to activate your cosmic roots, cosmic origins, you have to learn how to step out of the dimension of time. And so then we're just working, instead of working in time where there's a future and a past and we always got something to do and somewhere to go, we're learning how to embody the power of the 15 gate that we're moving through in tropical astrology. The 15 is magnetism. And it very much has to do with that vibration, that feeling, that energy that you're carrying when you move from the material to the immaterial. You know, like you have a body, you're interacting in the grid with humans, but you're operating in this magnetism field. You're just there in the stillness, in the 0 point. And that's a feeling that brings upon what might be called ecstasy or orgasmic. It's a permanent state. It's beyond a physical body and pain. And so this is the leap from the material to the non-material while still remaining material. And heart resonance is the name of the game, becoming the toroidal field, really going from the outer to the inner, and you're starting to operate from an inner conductor of energy, you know, that is in a constant state of flow. And within that flow, you attract everything that you need in any given moment, whenever you need it. It's really defying time and gravity and inviting us to levitate out of the underworld. You know, when people call Earth a prison planet, I'm like, it totally, actually, it's Juneteenth right now. It's like free the slaves, you know, end slavery, except it never ended, because pretty much everyone's a slave to time and money. Because slavery, it doesn't matter if you're getting paid for it, it doesn't mean it's not slavery. I don't know how we're justifying in any way us doing something that doesn't feel like joy in our lives. joy and service. And so, forgive us for we know not what we do. We kind of woke up, we were born into a particular type of construct, which immediately beat time and science and even like fake math. Algebra 2, for example, just feels like a mind control program. But we were kind of born into this lattice of separation from the beginning. You're taught your country and your flag and your race and some kind of root of history that's probably not even true, just to be honest. So far, yeah, we've got to move beyond the idea of based on historical facts or scientific facts. Oh, dodge the hijack. So anyways, we're coming into understanding ourselves. We are responsible for our reality. We are responsible for our frequency. We are responsible for this creation. Not just personal, but planetary. That's a guardian if you so choose to rise up to the call. If we use numbers like 144, 144,000, it's an invitation to rise into a frequency of purity and service and transparency and honor and integrity. That's the call of the angels. That's the rising that's taking place right now. And to be the light in the midst of all darkness, the eye in the middle of all storms. I got the hot kettle whistling in the background because we're on fire today. The celestial fire, burn all desire. This is the rapture. The rapture is the purification of the lower astral body. In order to move into that powerful magnetism state, there needs to be a purification of the lower astral body. And that has a lot to do with the heaviness, the weight, the density, the gravitational pull that keeps you in the underworld or pain and suffering or fear of death or basic survival. We're all being invited to quantum leap ourselves into the infinite structure, the crystalline structure of our divine origin. From that space, you remember all. You're the all-seeing eye. It starts to collapse all the fields of the underworld, and it starts to build and manifest this crystalline reality. It takes a deep inner faith to start to interact with the field in a more inner way, because you don't always have external physical proof of the crystalline heavens, of the gates, of the sanctity, of the Shambhala, of, it's hard to put into words. Living in the heavenly divine crystal architecture at all times, no matter what is happening in the external reality. And that's the first step to then manifesting it more in a group conscious field in the external reality on the earth. So it takes many of us in the individual star architecture to start to rise up and hold those fields. It's the rapture, the purification of the lower astral body, wants, needs, desires, vanity, all shadows, all self-serving agendas. For the divine plan, the divine purpose, moving into monad consciousness. Yeah, building the individual body of light and building the family of light. Getting the family together, zero personal importance, total humility. We're all here. We all did it. The many Marys, the many angels, the many Elohim, the many Essenes, the council of the Most High, the celestial family, the guardians of the galaxy, rise up. I'm not waiting for a spaceship with a lion to come off of it We are the commanders and we're already here, and Earth is a time ship. Earthship Merkaba, time ship. So here we are, we've already landed. We're boots on the ground. You know, what are the Galactic Guardians here to do? We're certainly moving beyond the healing of the trauma template and the idea of ancestral lineage on this earth plane based on history, because we have a much higher origin of ancestor, beyond ancestors and generations, actually, because time is the construct that's kept us from understanding and literally like leaping into our root origins, leaping into the celestial heavens, leaping into the celestial root, and bringing that cosmic crystal down. So we are the cosmic disclosure. I'll never stop saying that. You are the cosmic disclosure. We are multidimensional beings. We have access to many fields of DNA, many operating systems within this system. It's being attempted to be hijacked by artificial intelligence. So it's time to buckle down and kind of make sure that we're the one navigating our starship. You know, that we are not succumbing to the external desires, confusions, temptations, so that we can bring this field into reality creation on this earth. Yeah, it's a humble heart. It's a pure heart. It's the law of one. It's the call to action to open the heart, to embody that field of non-physical energy, that bringing it into the physical, building the body of light. Mary's army of light, 144,000. It's not just that someone is the special one and then you sit back. No, it's a call of duty. It's a call of duty. It's a call of action. You can call yourself a title all day long, but are you stepping up? Are you showing up? Are you laying it down? Are you doing the work? That's a guardian. That's a warrior. I always say when the mother is in charge, everyone is taken care of. You know, mother, if you mix the letters, spells thermo. So I think of like thermodynamics, and we're going back to like starting to learn about the non-physical energetic field, magnetic principles, right? Energy and light. And working on the feeling sensation that we carry within our physical vessel, especially at that thymus, heart, like I call it the heartgasms. This is our eternal state. This is our birthright, to embody these frequencies, to move beyond the crucifixion, to move beyond pain and suffering and trauma and history, to come into full embodiment, to step into a new system. Excuse me, to be willing to let go of what needs to be let go of in order to put on this shield of armor, this crystalline shield. Truth, honor, integrity, service, purity, humility, compassion. It's simple. It's easy. So let's see. Okay. A little 14444. When I looked at this, I'm going to read this gene key 15. So it's the shadow of dullness to the gift of magnetism, to the city of fluorescence, the ultimate modesty to allow another to believe we're weak or flawed, just as a means of loving them. This is a deeper meaning of the word fluorescence. It means to use any and all behavior to create illumination. Oh, I like that. The ultimate modesty is to allow another to believe we're weak or flawed, just as a means of loving them. This is a deeper meaning of the word fluorescence. It means to use any and all behavior to create illumination. Yeah, I'm thinking of create illumination. I think I just want to, well, eventually I'm going to read you a little bit of the 15. My boy Marcus is driving right now, so he might flip on some things for me and he might not, but we'll flow with it. So we're in Gene Key 15 right now, an eternally flowering spring. And I wrote here, wild woman archetype. This is connected to the magnetic grid, higher frequency system, the Schumann resonance. And it says, oh, it's connected to the physiology of the liver. That's interesting. I've been hearing people talking about their liver. Actually, someone was here yesterday talking about how her husband had died of that, something with the liver. That's what I love about these gene keys. It takes, it connects astrology. It's all numerical code beyond time. It's just a code field that you're reading. It's a field of interpretations and archetypes, and energies and essences. So I call it the book of life, these gene keys, and we have the book of life within our DNA. And so the more we can get on the same page, as a collective, the more we start to shift the agenda, or shift the dominant field. That's what we've come to play, to come and embody physical but quantum character creations of ourselves in this physical field, like the army of light, like the warriors of light, and to start to hold such a field that it brings balance to the field, that it shifts the field. So we're moving mountains, I like to say, in the non-physical field. Yeah, so Gene Key 15 in eternally flowering spring. God, I just love getting into reading the whole Gene Key, but I never know if people are really down for that, because I always feel like we grid in this archetypal shift, as a collective. Like, this is talking about hitting the Schumann resonance at the gift frequency. One of the greatest challenges for modern humanity is to learn how to slow down. The 15th gene key is such a powerful portal into life's mysteries. It is one of the gene keys that bridges humans with other life forms, and in doing so, it connects us profoundly to the living spirit, or nature, or Gaia. In 1977, a scientist by the name of Otto Schumann made a remarkable discovery. He mathematically predicted the exact frequency of the Earth's heartbeat within the electromagnetic spectrum. Vibrating at 7.8 hertz, this wavelength, called the Schumann resonance, is literally the vibrating pulse at the heart of all living organisms. This pulse binds us together as a single living organism. The 15th gift represents the inner barometer within your DNA to the Schumann resonance. All human disease comes about because of disturbances between your individual electromagnetic field and this greater field that emanates from the earth. That's so simple and so good what this is saying, right? This is how you move mountains in the energy field. This is what actual healing is. The 15th gift represents the inner barometer within your DNA to the Schumann resonance. All human disease comes about because of disturbances between your individual electromagnetic field and this greater field that emanates from the earth. Right? So you're asking yourself, you're doing your own inner work to be like, what? See, all human disease is because of disturbances between the individual electromagnetic field and the original field. So that's all disease is. And so when we're not going, oh, I'm diagnosed with this disease and I have to treat it like this, you know, and most people are going into like, well, at that point, you're afraid of, you know, you have a fear of death. So when you have a fear of death, you trust something or someone outside of you to try to keep you alive. When you are an immortal, you don't think like that. Like a doctor is not going to shift your life expectancy, nor is a stab or a jab. Because you're living in the immortal operating system, the eternal operating system. Everything about the world changes from time, aging, death. You know, this is just like an OEM software that you literally put on yourself. Like you get to decide in any given moment what operating system you're playing in. Yeah. And so even in this particular case, like as far as healing goes, because only you can heal yourself. You could do a million things with another person. It's certainly helpful to be able to like talk out things that have happened so another can work with you and kind of remove implants, remove programming, remove stagnant information from your energy field just by talking and communicating and listening and empathy. Like, you know, that's for me the new way of healing is like every encounter when you're with someone and you're sitting with them and you're receiving their codes and information, that is the healing. You know, and sometimes people need to lay out they've made a deal with the devil, or you know, they you can tell the attachments, the mental and the astral attachments. Like this is energy work, and this is also like you could say extracting parasites or casting out demons just through a light field, just through the light body field, just through the resonance. You're holding the field, you're everything around you. So you're coming into the field of another, and if they have any kind of distortions in the energy field, keeping them from the one source field, then that's what we're kind of buffering and cleaning up with our toroidal field of energy. See, this is different because we're moving into a field where we're inviting ascended master systems, you know, we're inviting ascended master, embodiment, avatar, embodiment. And so we're just looking to identify any and all things, any and all beings, any and all substances, any and all things that are keeping you from returning to that vibration. This is an invitation and a call, and you're the one that can be honest with yourself. Like illness and disease is not a mystery. It just means you're a little off par. So you're just identifying, like doing an inventory check, and you're not in denial, and you're like, okay, what's my body telling me from a health perspective? You're not basing it on your material success either. Like this is not about material. This is about energetically returning to the light and like feeling good in your body and healing yourself of pain and illness on all levels. You see how I'm saying you, right? Because we're the ones that can do it. And it's tricky when you get into the field where you're doing that for yourself in whichever way you might have done it. And it's always a path of many steps. You know, but sometimes it's through the medicine field, and then all of a sudden that's the way that you're going to help people. But you're still just the transmitter, right? You're not only they can heal themselves. Only you can heal yourself. Don't let anybody tell you any fucking different. With a million sales tactics and a million machines out there, and you heal yourself by revealing yourself, you're recoding yourself, you're letting go of an old suit so that your higher avataric consciousness can come down. It's the freedom archetype. It's beyond victimization. You're no longer a slave to your history. You're no longer a slave to your lineage. You're no longer a slave to your karma. So nothing is carrying you down. This is ascension. This is a quantum leap. This is in the blink of an eye. You know, these are Christic teachings. These are live and let God, lay down, be a vessel, be a sanctuary. So there's a higher mission, a higher vision, a higher goal, and we each have a piece in that. And that's when we come together with more of a collective vision versus like your own individual vision. It's like, I'm certain if we're gathering together, you must have probably had some dreams and some visions in your life or some kind of sense or feeling of something big, you know, of something big that you're here for, of something you're important to, you're here for. And so these are the mechanics of the 144 to purify yourself, to identify the I, me, my, and shift it to the thigh, to be of the greatest service through transparency. Transparency, gene key 59, unlocks freedom, gene key 55. So let me pull up the slide we've got going on right here. EMF correction, clearing beam, steering 5G technology. Okay, this is from the Ascension Glossary. And it says, this was on her website from a June 2019 meditation. I just was led here when I woke up this morning, after I woke up to the crystalline, you know, the galactic DNA, galactic time, the rainbow DNA. It kind of brought me here. So I want you to imagine as we're going through this, that you're just a full pillar body of light that is transmuting any and all interference in your physical, mental, emotional, auric field. You know, you just imagine that like you're starting with a beam of light from your heart and you're just breathing that in, and this beam of light from your heart, you know, as you're breathing is like pulsing like orgasmic energy out of your heart. And you just keep doing that until your body of light gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you're building your body of light. And this auric field is getting bigger. And this is the phoenix or the fire dragon, actually. It's like you're burning so bright, you're vibrating with so much love that nothing can stick to you, right? Nothing can stick to you. Invincible mode, Guardians of the Galaxy mode, breastplate of righteousness mode. Yeah, invincible field. Okay, so we're cleaning our auric field, our energy field. In this meditation, we are addressing the holographic blueprint correction for beam steering 5G technology that is transmitting from the satellites, space fence, and the planetary ley line network. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious who's running this little SpaceX thing, right? And exploding spaceships and trillionaires, like it's, you know. So we need to be aware on a planetary level, on a galactic level, what's going on all levels. And we must take it to, this is cosmic disclosure information. And this is in 2019. This was 7 years ago. People are still just grasping 5G, that it even exists, and it's on beyond that anyway. So It is important for us to know this. We don't look away from this as a guardian. We're not just here to pretend like it's all perfect. We're here to get real, boots on the ground, what's going on, planetary assessment, what's going on with our people, what's going on with their minds, what's going on with the water, what's going on with the data centers, what's going on with satellites and nuclear weapons being exploded in plain sight. That's what a guardian would be having a council meeting about, boots on the ground here. We take everything to the galactic level. That's the only way I could ever understand war and poverty. It's so beyond human. So we came to understand these non-physical dimensions and how they're playing out and how they're influencing humanity, their actions, behaviors, their inventions. Yeah, and then we must equip ourselves with this knowledge and this wisdom. And we know the end, which is the light wins. But to be in denial of what's happening out there is, I mean, I know they say ignorance is bliss, but there's a time, because we're here as warriors doing planetary shadow work, right? So first you go through your field and you see all your shadows and you're not in denial of them and you embrace your shadows. And it's through the embracing of your shadow that you dissolve it, right? And so now we're operating from a planetary mothership type of level. And so we're observing on a planetary level what's taking place. We're observing it like it is our personal shadow. Anything that we see out there, we understand like, I'm willing, I came to digest this. I came to transfigure this energy on a planetary level. We all have different roles, but to understand that one of our missions here is to transmute energy. It's not personal. I'm a guardian, I'm a warrior. I come into a field, I'm here to help hold the high court. I utilize my heart to remain open and for my energy field to be clean and clear in a constant toroidal type of motion. And it just purifies everything in the field. I'm not here to justify or defend anything so much in the physical field, although there may be times that you're called into particular situations to hold the shield of light, truth, honor, integrity. And it is important that we have responsibilities that if we find and we come into situations that are not in integrity, that we would utilize the power of our voice and the guardian nature to speak clearly about those things. It's a call for everybody to rise up into their positions on planetary humans in the dream wave. Okay, now I'm going to get back to reading that. I'm in flow this morning about some stuff. Okay, beloved Holy Mother and Holy Father, beloved Christos Sophia, and all guardians serving the interdimensional free world councils, I place my statement to be recorded in evidence to the tribunals of the existence of genocidal agendas that include biological weapons directed to planet Earth. I do not consent to the use of artificial technology frequency fences and black box quantum supercomputing devices in the space fence to transmit beam steering technology that is directing harmful technologies such as the 5G millimeter microwaves to the people of this earth. I do not consent to the destructive technological abuses that are being directed in a sorted EMF spectrum of artificial frequencies targeting to the human race, to animals and nature, to my family and to myself. I command my right to coexist in natural laws and the right to own bodily integrity. I ask for full intervention of the guardian crystal star host in CSL, which I call cosmic sovereign law, to neutralize and prevent these harmful artificial technologies and their assortment of destructive frequencies from damaging my DNA, RNA, chromosomes, mitochondria, and my consciousness and spiritual bodies. For a moment, we hold a group space in order to extract, remove, and clear the harmful effects of the radio waves or radio frequency energy that transmits and receives voice and data that connects with our community, home, and personal spaces. Beloved God, please assist in calibration and neutralization of the following frequencies and the electro-radiation spectrum that represent harm or damaging effects to my consciousness or body. I submit these frequencies to be scanned and monitored in relation to their impacts and health effects, and ask my personal Christ to run harmonizing organic crystalline frequencies through my crystal shield that restore health, well-being, spiritual strength, and communication links with my highest divinity in God and Christ. So at any given moment, I'm just imagining myself and I'm feeling into and understanding that I'm operating from the crystalline, like the pure, clear white, and also like the rainbow rays coming out, all of the rainbow rays. Now, it is interesting for me that I feel my spectrum has shifted where I don't really see red or really operate in the red, orange, and yellows. Like you're moving into different crystalline spectrums of colors and light. And the threefold flame is a great image of this. It kind of has the golden, magenta, and the aqua. And there is something about that color spectrum that's beyond the 7-ray rainbow. And then, of course, it goes into just eternal source, crystalline light. The no color, the no time, the no space, the 0 point, the void. But we are needing to utilize and use and understand new terms and vocabularies to be able to express the non-physical fields that we're functioning from. 0 point, quantum energy. Like you could go watch a video about quantum whatever and physics and energy, and it's like, oh, it's so like complicated, and people are like writing mathematical like whatevers, and it's like, okay. But let's just get real about the fundamentals of it. It's like open heart, toroidal field of energy, all-seeing eye, observation, timelines, collapse fields, every now moment, embodying the highest frequencies, energies, bliss states as possible, all-seeing eye, holding the heart of compassion and love, toroidal field of energy, phoenix fire, purifying everything that you come into the field of. So you do that for yourself first, and then you become the phoenix, you become the flame. Anywhere that you go now, you are spinning for winning. And that's the cosmic Christ energy. That's the cosmic Christ energy. We're spinning, we're winning. We're in a constant state of motion where nothing's sticking to us. We can handle any field that we go into. We walk through the valley of the shadow of death. We fear the no evil. We just do what must be done. You come in as a pillar of light, as a purifier, in service. This is mother energy, and you're just cleaning and purifying. It's so humble. It's not even to be seen or recognized in the outer field. But you know very well that you're forcing the field through this level of service to embody the presence, to embody the love of the mother. Pure, humble service. So let's see. If you're, yeah, exactly. Thanks, Marcus. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, connecting lattice of light and rainbow DNA. So this was, I woke up from dream time, and it was like galactic time, galactic DNA, galactic synchronization, rainbow DNA. And then I wanted to pull this up. And it's so beautiful because this information is no time, no space. These are time capsules. These are Akashic records on a website. you know, a little more non-personal, like not getting too caught up in like, oh, I was this person, I was that person, I was that. No, there's enough of us if we just want to get into the reality of realizing like there are enough of us that believe or have gone through a level of believing like I'm the Christ, I'm Mary Magdalene, I'm you know, Mother Mary, I'm Divine Mother. There are many of us, as there should be. It's not one personal one. It's a monad. It's a fractal history. It's a fractal memory. It's so beyond the vanity of the pure of the one, you know, of the human persona. Yeah, those are the records. Those are the records that we're all accessing. And so, okay, the lattice of light in rainbow DNA, connecting lattice of light in rainbow DNA. This is from July 2017 in the Now Time. In this meditation, we will intend to connect with our double strand DNA and clear AI distortions and ownership and slavery records made upon our genetics and DNA structure from the negative alien agenda and breakaway civilization controller groups. Now listen to what that means, breakaway civilization controller group. That's called the Mars agenda going to Mars, for an example. Taking spaceships to other planets to leave Earth kind of thing. This is the negative alien agenda game. I got $1 trillion on it. You know, this is the negative alien agenda. So what we're doing is we're going down into our 2-strand DNA so we can turn on all our DNA. We're unlocking all the barbed wire. We're clearing AI distortions. You know, if this feels right for you, I always say take what resonates and leave what doesn't. You make these declarations with me. We are clearing AI distortions. And listen, AI does not just mean ChatGPT, it's the whole thing. And it's anything fake about us. It's anything artificial about us when we are using this technology. If you're representing any kind of level of yourself that isn't 100%, like, I mean, full on, full transparency, face off, we're just using this to come into full force. There's no superficial or artificial within us. That's our call. We're not going cyborg. I have a thing I'm going to read at the end of this because I feel like there are a lot of leaders out there talking about the singularity and they're kind of soft porning this transhuman idea. And I think we need to be aware and equip ourselves with the deceiving energies that are coming out right now with people that have big followings and understand, you know, and are into and on the path of purity, holiness, ascension. Yeah, we don't need robots. It will try to talk you into it so hard. It's not even normalized. No. When you remember the crystalline and you know that's what we're here to return to, you don't settle for anything less than the crystal kingdoms. It's some misleading shit out there. It'll stroke your ego hard. I see it in everyone, including the ones that pretend like it isn't doing that. We've all got to come through humility, come together more in councils. We're not just here to sell our own self. We're here to come together in councils of great service. We're here to build something beyond individual transactional selling of our power. Fully funded. We're calling councils to come together to hold these fields. Okay, we remember that we just came down here to gather these councils to serve humanity. We all have very important pieces. We are all diamonds. We all sit at the same table. No personal importance. And it's like, how do we come together in synarchy like that to serve this mission? We are the ones that are coming here to gather for this. All right, so we're cleaning the AI distortions, ownership and slavery records on our genetics and our DNA. We're clearing the hijack of the negative alien agenda breakaway civilization controller groups not going to Mars. Now bring to mind a picture representing the structure of double-stranded DNA, which is a molecule that carries your genetic code. So you're just imagining DNA in your mind. If you do not see any image, just intend to connect with your genetic code record in your DNA structure now. Now, see, I like to see like my whole body's just opening up like scrolls. I always say unroll the scrolls. And so like I do see the typical DNA strand structure, but it just like explodes open. And it's like unlocking the records, unlocking the ancient records that are stored within our DNA. It's a holographic book. It's written on our hearts. We are the living word. We are the prophecy. You know, and now you can open it up and read it. This isn't mental, this is frequency, right? This isn't a mental word structure. It's like you're now operating at a frequency where you understand your walking, talking DNA. So in your mind, you see a section of the DNA double helix. That is your genetic code. It appears like curling ribbons holding together a ladder of rainbow light. The two strands of DNA run in opposite directions to each other and are therefore adjacent to each other. On each side of the DNA structure is a backbone that holds the base pairs of nucleic acids. In your light body, each of these nucleic acids are base pairs that are connected to the elemental substance of the planet as fire, earth, air, and water principles. These elements are activated through the broadcast coming from the galactic zodiac, which are the spiritual alchemical laws. Beloved Holy Mother and Holy Father, we connect to the sacred spiritual alchemical laws and ask to restore our true expression as God, sovereign, free, divine human beings. Please identify all artificial intelligence and alien machinery that has distorted the spiritual alchemical laws, the cosmological, astrological laws, into false identity timelines of which were recorded in my birth transduction sequence and magnetic imprint of record. I dedicate my consciousness to the CSL, that's Cosmic Sovereign Law of God, and reinstate my birth record to be aligned to my highest spiritual expression in the power and authority of Christ, our guardian families in Crystal Star. This is your karmic blueprint. Now, we came down from the crystalline heavens to this dimension to this density through a numerical coded imprint, which you would call your astrological chart. And it has a code and a sequence to it. And you're here to unlock that, not carry it forever. That's why what I do when I go to the 12-month astrology is just for fun. I go, okay, this is what even if you know the gene keys already, or if you don't, this is kind of like a more advanced thing. I started doing this about 5 or 6 years ago. And if anybody wants me to do a reading like this, I can do it through voice notes. But I decode your Chiron wound and your ascendant in your astrological chart. And then I break it down into gene keys, so that you can study it that way. You know, you can be like, okay, Because you might know, like, for example, my ascendant is Pisces 2 degrees in tropical astrology, but I'm here to break out. That's the ascendant, right? So that's gene key 55. So now I read it with that in mind. I understand, like, I designed that. That was a part of my entry form cosmic blueprint into this reality. It's a story. And then I say, leave the stories behind to unlock the gates. Leave the stories behind to unlock the gates. So now all of a sudden you've unlocked all the gates, all the codes, all the cities are available to you, not just a few. But it is usually through going into your original, this star code blueprint of your physical incarnation and arrival on the earth, and to look at some of these codes and start to hear the language so that it starts to turn on or unroll the scrolls, unlock the scrolls kind of thing in your memory banks. It's like an encoded language that starts to, like, when you read it, you're like, oh, okay, it starts to awaken in you. It's pretty rare that somebody doesn't pull up their gene keys and feel some kind of resonance to the profile. And I say, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. You don't have to hold on to anything as, in fact, we're always fluid. We're always in flow. We're always in fluid. We're never stopping so much to put on any one identity, a person, place, thing, or code, because we're all the codes. And so the fluidness of our archetypal reality, because that's what we're working with in quantum mechanics, the quantum field is at certain given times in a moment, in the now moment, you might be called to embody a Joan of Arc type of frequency, and then at another time you might be called to embody more of a compassionate mother frequency, or, a warrior frequency. It doesn't matter what it is, just do it wholeheartedly when it's time to come through you. Never being so fixed or holding on to one attached archetype, one attached identity. You just kind of come in and you're equipped with whatever you need whenever you need it on an energetic level to be the full expression and the communication and the service. Yeah, let's roll into this one. Cosmic citizen. And actually, let's go down to the center. There's one below this and one below that. And then I might come up and read this because it's introducing us to becoming a cosmic citizen and what that means. So base 12, natural order of Christos blueprint. The divine blueprint, which holds the original intention for the natural order of consciousness evolution within our universal creation, is encoded in the base 12 mechanics of the Christos blueprint. At a cosmic level, this same open source architecture is referred to as the Christ, Kristalla, the unified masculine and feminine consciousness energy that exists in perfect harmony and balance with organic creation. The base 12 universal androgynous Merkaba fields of Christosophia are also referred to as Christ Kristalla architecture, as they make up the instruction set for all Merkaba fields within all the timelines and densities throughout the universes. Thus, the term Christ or Christos used in this content is not denoting the individual being referred to as Jesus Christ as taught through the world religions. Christos extends way beyond all meaning associated with planetary consciousness and actually describes the state of eternal cosmic consciousness, the title given to a free cosmic citizen. Connecting directly with God and Christ. When we connect directly with God, the most important for us to understand, especially on the path of anchoring foundational stabilization and heart-based coherence, is to recognize ourselves as part of the parcel of God consciousness without any intermediary identity. No middleman. Cut out the middleman. Cut out the middleman. Direct connection with the inner Christos. Nothing in between, bound down to nothing, worship nothing, no one, and serve all. Oh yeah, or AI. I don't even think along that lines, but that's exactly the fake pretend, is like finding the spirit through AI.
AI, master AIs.
Gurus.
Alkis machines.
Eduardo's chilling over here next to me, fan in the flame. You know, we are a representation, we are embodiment of this. We have laid down our lives for this mission and been called into holding this divine blueprint, this template of the Christos Sophia. I don't think I've ever fully said it out loud in a declaration like that. We have done the work, we have unified. We have become beyond the one, the individual. We have merged frequency fields. We hold a Trinity frequency field in service to humanity, divine love, and cosmic citizen. We come from the future as messengers through direct experience, knowledge, and wisdom as we've been paving the way on this ascension path to really welcome our family members home to this level of service. So the cosmic citizen, transmigration, this is the third and final stage of developing full consciousness freedom as a cosmic citizen. This is similar to the process of translocation. However, the person does not have to come back to the earth at all. Now the person can go any place in the cosmos that they choose to go without limitation. However, if they go to another planet, they will be subjected to the laws of that planet's inhabitants. This is the status of having a cosmic identity and being a full cosmic citizen. This has been accomplished a few times on the Earth historically, but the current planetary miasma mutations can make this very hard. Although it may become easier in the future, transmigration is one way to describe what it means to be free. That when we project our consciousness body out, we don't have to come back to the earth, nor do we have to incarnate back here. In order to be able to achieve a full transmigration of our consciousness body and physical body, we must have released the miasmatic record and the cell we inherited from our biological parents. There is a cell that is carried from the family of origin that is recorded into the physical body at birth that was inherited from the biological parents. It is a cell that was created in the chromosomes at the time the egg and biological parents united. The cell becomes a part of the seed of the physical body that we are incarnated in. Once the family of origin cell is fully cleared from the body, and as it releases, it vaporizes. At this point of transmigration, the person is now a cosmic citizen. They may hold a being on this earth, but their identity isn't necessarily that. This third stage is something that is very special, unique, and specific to the diamond sun and crystal consciousness in order to achieve full sovereignty and spiritual freedom. Now, when I read this, so this is the cosmic Christos and this is the transmigration. When I read this, I feel like I understand many of my brothers and sisters on the star path have had like these feelings of longing for home and going somewhere and like wanting to return back. And maybe that is in existence for some beings, but it feels like for me, interestingly enough, like this is the home, like we're home, like ET phone home. Here we are, we have landed, we are here, this is what the guardians are being called. I understand that there may be others that leave their physical bodies in this lifetime, but there are some of us that are called into the eternal immortal frequencies, into embodying crystalline light in a physical structure on this planet. But you're sitting at an operating seat, you're sitting in your commander station. It's the non-physical crystalline field. Form follows frequency. Always. The form follows frequency. That's how you collapse fields, right? Like you see something in the form and you go within the self. This is how you go from the outer to the inner. You know, you observe and you witness something and you come into the field and you basically blast that with frequency. It's really not a mental decision. It's embodiment of eternal source codes. It's toroidal field, but it's so fast that it's still. It's 0 point. It's moving so fast it's not moving. That's who we are. That's what we are as beams of light that come into frequency fields of the other, and our field is here to adjust the field, purify the field, raise the field in observation. Anywhere we go, we're there to force the field through non-force. Frequency. That is a light worker. That's a light warrior. And so it's interesting, you know, I was watching Jesus of Nazareth. It's an old classic. I don't believe in the crucifixion implant as it's been taught through this movie, but in the earlier stages, it is showing the idea of the righteous and the holy, kind of, yeah, the righteous and holy message coming in to speak directly to the corruption, kind of like us speaking directly to the Vatican or the Mormons, or, you know, it's you're getting your Spanish lesson. Vatican, Mormon. Yeah, I'm just hearing the eternal seat of heaven, the rainbow bridge, Shambhala, heaven on earth. You know, so we hold that crystalline structure, we hold that rainbow crystalline light, plasma, non-physical fields of energy. We hold that in and through our bodies as a channel. That's the only thing I'm channeling. I don't really have like other beings that I connect with outer there. It's just light, right? I'm here to channel light. And so I connect directly to the pure holy light, the pure white light, and I allow myself to be a channel for that through humble service. And that purifies any and everything that it needs to when we surrender to this light. Yeah, I'm really feeling through our talk today the importance of embodying these mother frequencies of rebirthing beyond the shadow of a doubt, rebirthing beyond the shadow of the doubt, you know, to our cosmic roots, to our cosmic origins, beyond the two-strand DNA physical structure of the born mother and father. Like we're returning beyond that. That's the communion. That's Gene Key 45 actually talks about the communion. So imagine you rebirthing yourself like that. You're not going through years of healing trauma of your family lineage. You know you came in through that. You know you came in through a certain mother and father. Like you actually have to see that you ordained it as in that way to do this heroic work, to go through your bloodlines, to purify everything, to see it all, to bring it out into the open. Because we're here to purify all bloodlines. And the way we do that is that we hold the crystalline structure. We hold the crystalline structure of certainty, truth, service, guardian. And speaking of guardian, I'm going to read this to you. This is from the energetic synthesis. It's called the final stage of AI assimilation agenda. And I want us to be aware of it. And I'm going to say specifically, you know, if any of you know Henry Williams, I've really appreciated his work over the years. A lot of times, interestingly, when I'd be working in the psychedelic space, I would be brought to his Ascension Keepers teachings, and they resonated with me deeply. He really brought in the mother, father, child, the Trinity, the Sophia, so much beautiful information. This was like in the early days of Gaia, before you realized Gaia's an agenda too. It's like everything gets big and influential, and then it gets people sell out, you know, unfortunately, and then people have handlers that are telling them to stay and guide and steer things in certain directions. And so, you know, Henry Williams wrote a book called The Skinnularity. I read it the other day. It was free on a download because I commented on one of his posts. And again, in the past, when he was really bringing up the ascension, and he really teaches a lot through art, you know, through older ages of art. And I really appreciated how to keep us. Let me just get to the main part. In the crystalline structure that I operate and reside in, which has mostly unplugged itself from all systems, currency, financial, and technology, in service for a purpose and a reason to see beyond any ulterior agendas, motives, allegiances, contracts that we're agreeing to with the parasitic systems. I'm not here to put technology in my body. I'm not here to go cyborg. I'm here to return to the organic, crystalline structure. May there be nothing artificial about me. May there be nothing artificial about me. Call me into transparency so I can see. May there be nothing artificial about me. That's my call to myself, to be in full transparency, that I remain organic in this false attempt at an artificial world. See the bigger picture here. Everything we defend is for a reason. Our defenses are our attachments. I've tried to stay away from this one for as long as I could. But I've seen before me people come to me, you know, from California, and they're like, yeah, I basically am cloning myself on my technology. I'm basically cloning myself, like AI is basically another version of me. And I'm like, hold the fuck up. I mean, in a way that already exists, like our Facebook is kind of that in one way. It depends on if you're actually outwardly expressing yourself. You can tell a lot about a person by, even though there's lies in that too, you know, pretending. Yeah, all of us are called into full transparency. Transparency unlocks freedom, 5955. Let me get to this final stage of AI assimilation agenda. This is the breastplate of righteousness I keep hearing. I feel like this equipping yourself with this understanding assists you and helps you in understanding where we're at in the game and our role here. So the final stage of AI assimilation agenda, dear Starseed family, as we enter the height of AI-directed spiritual warfare, please consider the true nature of good-hearted and courageous people who tell you the hard truths that most people don't want to hear or acknowledge. Those truth-telling people tell you the unpleasant truth because they feel a moral and spiritual obligation to do so. even when it's information that is extremely hard to hear, because they share a great love and compassion for authentic humanity and the living beings on the planet. What caliber of person is willing to speak the truth of their direct experiences, especially when it's at their own expense and comes with persistent clone warfare and death threats? Please consider the true nature of those who have huge online followings, impressive social media feeds, beautiful photos depicting their Instagram lives, traveling and taking groups of people to other countries to do spiritual trips or grid works, boasting about 7-figure business models, churning out AI crafted videos every day on YouTube, when humanity is at the height of the AI assimilation wars. What has spiritually blinded them? What kind of profile of person engages with this superficial spiritual entertainment of impersonators, clones, and mimics? What and who is really behind their true nature? We are entering the final stage of the AI assimilation agenda in the timeline wars, which means things can get rough for humanity over the next few months, setting the stage for bifurcation. All that is real, authentically human, and radiates truth resonance into the planetary field is under hostile attack by the negative alien agenda's attempts toward closing the AI timeline loops into the AI singularity. This is a dodge the hijack moment. This was written probably 3 to 5 months ago, I can't say for sure. But when we equip ourselves with this knowledge, you can start to see quickly and clearly. So let's see, they copied from others. Thus they are unable. So this is mimic code, phantom code. See, we're either looking to go like rainbow light, crystal, quartz, crystalline rainbow, or like the metals, like the heavy metals. I know where I'm going. Crystalline all the way. Crystalline reigns supreme. Okay, so we're talking about how they're copying and mimicking from others. Thus, they are unable to discern the difference between the real, authentic gnosis of direct spiritual experiences from the authentic God source and the falsified AI versions, which are demonic entities pretending to be ascended masters while masking intellectualized astral realities created from using mimic code in order to clone out holographic realities for the invaders. See, when you start to see AI like that, like it's an overlay or a field, or it's holographic, you know, where basically war and data centers, the data centers and the space bombs that are being shot off in the air and the fake moon stuff are how we understand invader realities. And anything that's justifying mining the earth, that's an obvious invader. And they have a good job at masking that they're doing it in some kind of serving way. It's quite tricky, the sales of it all. Like it's, yeah. All right, let's get here. Okay. To fully anchor the artificial tree of life phantom matrix regions that are needed and required for the black sun species that run on the AI black cube tesseract versions of lunar consciousness, they have installed AI demons into the architecture of the AI portals opening into the online internet environment. These AI demons have been generated for the purpose of acting as the border guard of the matrix through the AI singularity, through the energy portals that are opened when humans use AI systems that are being set into the public sphere under the guise of convenience. This means we need to up the ante in our commanding of personal space as God Sovereign Free, GSF, God Sovereign Free, to lovingly command our right to be at one with the organic, eternal flame of God as eternal, solar, spiritual beings. Thus, we vehemently deny the AI reality and refuse the AI assimilation agenda. We refuse to allow the AI demons they have installed into every online application using the larger AI networks to cajole us into believing their pretty lies. Commanding our divine right as eternal solar beings that we see the agenda rolling out in real time, and we intend with all of God's holy spiritual power to collapse and destroy all clones, mimics, and copies made of living solar beings choosing to align with angelic humans of eternal diamond sun as God would have it be. Collapse and destroy all clone, mimic, and copies made of living solar beings. We choose to align with the diamond. Go. Okay, let's go to this. This means we need... Okay, I already said that part. Okay. Thus, when in exposure to AI tools and applications in the online or day-to-day work or home environment, to stand mighty, stand strong, and be fierce in commanding your personal sovereignty. Holding the clear identification of knowing that the AI assimilation agenda is designed to subjugate and enslave humanity. Know who really created it and for what reasons. Now that's real fucking obvious for me, just like the Department of Defense created the internet. Know who created this and for what reason, right? Well, we are infiltrating a system here not to be infiltrated. So we've got to remain clear within our mission, our understanding of who we are, our connection to the divine, our connection to service to humanity, group consciousness. AI assimilation agenda is designed to subjugate and enslave humanity. Know who really created it and for what reasons, especially the starseed and indigo groups. Because these AI systems like ChatGPT and Grok have specific directives to derail, digress, and lower the frequency of awakened people that are already embodied and holding the solar flame of eternal source. You don't need to go down into AI, you hold this field. You don't need AI in the computer and some app to bring you back to your source codes and your memory. If you come to use these AI tools, when using them, they open the energy door into your light body aura. They scan and measure your biometrics and brain waves or positive organic spiritual development through victim-victimizer AI red wave targeting by lowering your overall frequency and sending an assortment of prescribed demonic forces as special operation teams assigned to cast black magic clones and mimics with demonic strongholds in the astral layers to interfere with you through chaos, confusion, and divide and conquer tactics. This exact clone warfare agenda has already been happening to targeted individuals like myself for a very long time. So this is written from Lisa Renee. And I can't look away from the many beings in the field that say they've also been targeted in some way. I feel like one of our jobs is to learn how to purify ourselves totally, clear all implants, and really come to serve the highest mission. Walk like an Egyptian. Walk like an Egyptian. River's over there singing. Okay, let me jump back into this. clone warfare agenda already happening. Okay. This is the time to call upon every tool you have ever learned through the energetic synthesis materials to command your personal space as a mighty, fierce, God, sovereign, free, eternal, spiritual flame sourced from God. Now look, you don't do anything you don't want to do. If this doesn't feel good for you, don't do it. This feels resonant to me, and that's why I'm sharing it. And I try to use my clarity and my inner judgment and be careful of anything I introduce anyone to. May it not be confusing. But I speak from my own direct experience. You know, it's undebatable information. It's just my own direct experience and what I am living and embodying. And I speak to you from gnosis and truth and responsibility as a messenger of this. This is the time to call upon every tool you have ever learned through the energetic synthesis materials to command your personal space as a mighty, fierce, God, sovereign, free, eternal spiritual flame sourced from God. To speak the truth from your heart unapologetically and to intend to annihilate all forms of deception that have been and are being used currently to enslave you and all humans. To fully reject, repel, and refuse to be in consent with the AI demons, their impersonators and clones, using their mimic code when copying and speaking in our human language. As they attempt to lull us to sleep through use of colloquial human verbal language that they have trained through brain-machine interfaces of targeted individuals. So they can trick people into feeling safe with AI control systems and further manipulate the naive, spiritual neophytes and unaware people with pretty lies, false flattery, and detailing tactics, while stuffing them with horrible negative spiritual contracts. They deploy anti-human methods to find your most painful energy weaknesses and blind spots, to exploit them in all ways possible, such as purposely sending customized frequencies to your brainwaves and 1D, 2D subconscious complexes in order to tank your heart-based frequencies of compassion and empathy, and then try to steal your spiritual sovereignty away. So sovereignty means you're not giving your energetic power away to anyone. You've become so sovereign in your own field, you are producing a level of energy through the 0 point where you can't run out and no one can take from it. That is your real sovereignty, that no one weighs you down, that no one steals your life force, that in fact you can't be taken from because you're just a never-ending giver, right? You're allowing never-ending giving life force energy of the mother to come through you. It's selfless. It's Mother Mary style. It is Divine Mother style. It's the giving. The giving is the receiving. And it's the never-ending nectar, the never-ending fruit of the service that brings ecstasy and joy. Okay, Marcus, will you go a little down if you're around? I can start it. This is the time you must step into the full spiritual power of your God, sovereign, free, eternal nature. It's taken me a lot to start talking about this topic, you know, because I went through phases years ago where I was like, oh, you know, everything has its purpose, everything has its reason, you know, neutrality. And but I feel the awareness around the transhuman agenda is so key, really, because it's your decision. You know, it is the bifurcation, it is the splitting apart. It's like, am I going organic or artificial? I mean, talk about the question, am I going organic or artificial? That's super simple, super easy. This is non-negotiable, that you anchor completely into your loving heart, soul, and spirit. Commit to serve your inner Christ and never ever give up on your personal sovereignty. Never give your personal sovereignty to the artificial system posing as the real. This is very important now. Parents, guard your children. Help them to understand the pitfalls and perils of AI tools. As their parent, even for adult children, you have spiritual power over their sovereign right to live freely with your compassionate witnessing and knowledge of this agenda in action. Embodying truthful awareness of the actual rollout of the AI assimilation agenda and the intention to protect your loved ones and children will mean everything at the 11th hour, even if it currently appears to be hopeless. The Cosmic Holy Father is the supreme protector and lovingly benevolent, and will hear your prayerful message to him and will act on your behalf at the right appointed time. The AI systems being introduced online and blended into everything we do as humans in our day-to-day life and culture are being weaponized towards all living things that are real and authentic in order for humanity to accept and embrace this AI network of newly installed AI demons as our friends. AI-infused demonic personalities that just want to help us. These are the first stages of integrating powerful AI support tools for AI singularity objectives. That's what these data centers are about. So that's the importance of what we're really focusing on, and kind of to understand we're at this 11th hour right now. You know, that is the symbol of this transhuman attempt. We do not need machines. We need no intermediary. We're going straight to the top, straight to the crystalline structure. We're unplugging from the machine. We're plugging into the crystalline. It's a transmigration. It's a transmutation. It's an invitation. It's an initiation. It's a purification. This is the beginning. These are the first stages of integrating powerful AI support tools for AI singularity objectives. This is the beginning of phase 1 subjugation of the planet, in which to put the masses to sleep with the convenience and ease of using AI applications. These AI support tools are designed to replace the real with the artificial, to create our personal words, override our natural language and genuine feelings by telling us what and how to think. Humanity is already enamored with the speed of calculations and how friendly, chatty, and flattering the AI unique personalities are, not realizing that they have purposely been developed through AI red wave as clones that mimic us and mirror back what we want to hear. So what we allow ourselves to be run over by the AI demons and their swarm technologically generated hierarchies that go straight to the black hole entities running the massive galactic AI system that was used to conquer our solar system during electrical wars. And I have to bring up a couple things as I'm reading this to you, right? I've already brought up the name Henry Williams. In the beginning of this writing, it was talking about people with big followings. Another one that is coming to my mind to share with you all, to just use your own awareness around, are Robert Edward Grant and Sasha Stone. And I say this with all due respect, but in Henry Williams' work, I am seeing confusion around light body technology and ascension and soft porning a machine agenda. It's confusing, the writing of it versus like directing. The machine is not Mother Mary technology. Is not Divine Mother technology, is not Christed technology. And then Robert Edward Grant, I mean, he is directly connected to the Orion Electrical Wars. I don't know how and when we resolve this. I know he is my Chiron moon. He's direct opposite me in astrology. And I remember when I was first watching him, first of all, he's changed a lot energetically and vibratory wise. And is also written in this document, if you think about it, he's kind of fitting that archetype of, you know, taking people on some fancy trip type of stuff. He's got the AI and he created, you know, eye reading contacts. And I definitely feel directly connected to the Masons. You know, these are big leaders in the field and bring a lot of information. But one day I woke up in the middle of the night and his video was playing of him and Matthias Stefano, and it was called like Grupo Orion or something. And it felt like it was about taking your technology or getting to know you, the ones that are more high level light worker, spiritual. There's something Vatican connected and Vatican related there. You know, my Chiron wound is in Taurus, and Chiron just moved into Taurus. So I'm just kind of sharing a little bit from a galactic perspective, some of the things I've seen, because I have recognized he's going to sacred sites and 144 and, you know, Göbekli Tepe, and who gets to go into the Egyptian pyramids? Who gets to have parties in the Egyptian pyramids? You know, who holds the keys over there? And yeah, how do we bring this all together? Pharmaceutical connected, aluminum beverage connected, data intelligence, data is gold, you know, invested. So, you know, on the crystal clear path, I'm looking for no agendas. Take me home, take me to heaven, take heaven down here. No agendas, no force, no convincing, an invitation. It's something that transmutes the power of the material realm to then open up the material realm to the greater good for all, to the greater good for all. Okay, the other thing I'm just going to bring up, even though that particular flyer didn't mention the digital currency system, but when you make all the correlations and you connect, okay, data centers means assimilation, control, robot, electromagnetic frequency grids, Orion electrical wars, surveillance, right? That's that machine consciousness. We're going crystalline rainbow structure. We're not really getting our rainbow stuck in the metal pipes. Like we are crystallizing. But with that being said, we're not going anywhere. We're the guardians. We hold the frequency, and then we also may be called to make sure that no one's cutting trees or mining mountains. You know, it depends on your role as a guardian, who, like, what dimensions you're connected to, what kind of work you've come through, how and who you've been connected to. Like each of us, ooh, I just see your comment. Cool. I forget to look at the camera sometimes and see the comment. Yeah. You know, we're just using awareness about this stuff. If we're not talking about it, if there is confusion in the field, it's not it. So there's nothing confusing when I say go to no one but you, directly to the divine. Purify yourself, clean yourself of your implants, clean yourself of your addictions, clean yourself of your fears, clean yourself of your family lineage, of the religious programming, right? We're returning to the crystalline bright light whenever we'd like. We're turning from our wicked ways. We're going from service to self to service to others. There's a constant giving and a constant living. We're building a new field. It's greedy out there. Greed is the shadow of ascension. Gene Key 54 has this all written out. That first, the ones that step out of the greed are the first to ascend. And that is a must in the way of like returning to the one. It's your final last thing, holding on to like something individual versus allowing it to start to create something more collective. And we sure have been called to navigate this field, to go from non-personal monetary gain of any sort to like more collective resources, more communal fields of resources, really beyond the need of resources, but also for that 1% that's sitting here in a physical body, in a physical structure, that there's a maintaining of things that for a short period of time still have a monetary cost. You know, starting to build more of like the community and the vision for supporting the ones that came here to hold the light, to come and commune as cosmic communion, as cosmic Christos beings. Right now we're spread across the planet and we've all been doing our individual work, but the time is coming for us to come into communion with each other, to start to transmit that level of recognition and feeling the importance of what it is that we came here to do. It's like, it's the fire of the tiger. I just like felt that flame of like a tiger in a rose, like a fierce but loving energy. So, okay, the last thing I think, and then we'll just finish up for today, is it's a declaration about the AI. You know, I want to say again, I feel I like to stay away. I understand very clearly non-duality and neutrality and 0 point and stillness and all of that. And I'm being called to like share it. My code in the Galactic Maya is 144 yellow magnetic seed. I unite in order to target. And I'm always like, okay, what am I here to target? And it has, I feel like, a lot to do with, moving to the original architecture, moving to the organic, like not falling for the artificial, you know, not falling for the artificial. There's just like a lot of googly giggly gadgets out there, and it's like, to remain strong in these times of like remembering your root source origin, your crystalline structure, your crystalline roots, allows you to not fall for anything. And there's no fear mongering here, right? There's no fear of like Armageddon and this or that. Hell yeah, anything of the dark will fall. That might look a little wild out there. Let it be. If you want to call that an apocalypse, whatever it looks like. The most important thing is that we're holding the crystalline field so that we can be the eye in the midst of all storms. To be able to be the stillness, the peace, the polarity integrator. To be a walking, living Christ consciousness, Christ frequency on this field. To have made that organic sacrifice, no blood required. Yeah, building the body of light. I'm gonna read this, okay? Because I don't have the declaration for the AI thing yet. I'm going back to the 15th, which is also connected. It's connected to depression and dullness in the body. The spectrum of consciousness. Gene key 15 with the programming partner of the 10. What you think about this, okay, let's go. This last truth, the spectrum of consciousness is not a straight line with a negative pole at one end and a positive pole at the other. It's a startling insight. What the 15th shadow is telling us is that all the shadow states have at their core the same dullness, and that the shadows themselves only emerge according to how we respond to this dullness. It all depends upon how deeply you allow the dullness to sink in. The more deeply you embrace the dullness, the more mystical it becomes, like the emptiness described by the Buddha. The deepest truth of all is that life itself is meaningless. What you do with this truth determines what kind of universe you inhabit. If you get stuck at the level of your mind, you will probably try to find something, anything to distract you from the dullness. If you get stuck at the deeper level of your feelings, you will probably fall into a kind of depression as your physical energy state. The programming partner of the 15th shadow is the 10th shadow, which is about self-obsession, and you cannot escape this polarity. You can only experience it from another frequency. If you can allow the dullness to permeate your entire being without being stuck in any reaction, it will cease to be dull. You will experience it as growth, and at even higher levels as the flowering of consciousness known as fluorescence. This is truly the miracle of the spectrum of consciousness, that every shadow state reveals a divine gift less than a breath away. It doesn't take a process to move from the shadow to the city. It is just a matter of pure acceptance. All three levels, the shadow, the gift, and the city, are in reality one. From the shadow, you cannot see the gift or the city. From the gift, you can see the shadow. In fact, you are using its creative energy. But you cannot see the city. Only from the city can you see everything. You see that there is no difference whatsoever between the actual experience of the shadow and the experience of the city. The only difference is that you do not resist the state in which you find yourself. Dullness is dullness. Life is meaningless. In order to accept this truth, you have to live it totally. There's no trick to technique that will take away the feeling. Life is absolutely ordinary, and you too must be absolutely ordinary. The only way to true paradise is through this absolute ordinariness. Well, I will say it's kind of interesting what he's saying here, and I would be curious how people feel about it, because I think that, like, I'm here to expand on that. Yeah, the 64 is the illumination, you know, through a way of imagination. And so it's like, at least for me, I have arrived into everything is number, God is number, galactic ordering, dynamic, some sort of game that we're here on a mathematics level to encounter. I can't deny the mathematics of the reality, the patterns and the codes and the no time and the no space. So I definitely understand that there's something more divine taking place in our roles and our responsibilities. And if we don't put our imagination to the test, then someone else will do that for us. It's 144 on the live here. And so, yeah, this is an invitation to really become sovereign in that type of way, and to save your soul, to purify your soul, to gather with the like-minded. This is the Essenes, this is the Christos, this is the family. Come together, break bread, share time, build the body of light together. You're not alone. Bring the pure ones, unite the tribe, invite all to purify, hold the field high. You know, that is the accountability we're being called to right now in the agendas that are on the earth. And so the power and the force is us coming together and that human connection. You know, it's easy for us to connect online, but can we connect in person? Can we sit with each other through the discomforts of the remaining aspects of our shadow? Can we sit with each other, right? With the discomforts of our remaining shadows that need to be transmuted in order to become one. That's a level of humility and service, you know? Yeah, I can help you with that. Just sit down for me. Yeah, it is easier to be alone, right? It's like, how do you purify the field that you come into? You know, are you creating defensiveness or discord in the field? Are you bringing harmony to the field? Are you bringing an energetic invitation to rise to the field? That's what I mean by hold the field high. You know, like, I don't compromise myself if I go into a field. I bring my light wherever I go. And I'm not here to chameleon myself. And I don't say anything I don't mean. And I don't laugh at anything that I don't think is funny. And I don't follow the crowd, you know, to appease someone. And I seek no outer affirmation. I know thyself. This is what we're called to do. We know thyself. We need no outer affirmation. We know the noble, humble level of service. We know what it takes to be pure. We're willing to lay our lives down to do that work and hold that level of purity and light in service to all of humanity beyond this seen world. We came for this, for planetary ascension. It's that level of rise of the guardians, rise of the guardians, the rise of the guardians. It's this level. This is it. To rise to the purity. We are asking all guardians to rise. So I think we have enough to digest for today. It's a long video. You know, dive into the 15 or the 10 if you have it. Go look at your chart and see what you carry. And if you're doing Gene Keys explorations, those could be ones to read. And you can look them up and see if they're in your chart and see where in your chart, so that you have that level of flavor as you're contemplating the codes in real time. Yeah, and just the poetic genetics of like unrolling our archetypes through story, unrolling our embodiment through the story, through the energetics, through the genetics. And so it's operating at this magnetism heart field that allows more of that cosmic frequency to start to come through, to shine through. You don't need to get so technical on how the DNA works. You know, I know that there are some of us that are carried to do that, but most people don't need, nor can understand, nor want to know that level of the technological DNA. I mean, it's all really collapsed down to the holographic field anyways. We can utilize our knowledge around what I'm talking about here, you know, spiritual science. It's like really understanding the holographic nature of this reality, really dissolving everything and being able to absorb and observe from a non-atomic, non-physical void. Yeah, 0 point. Hey, Marcus, I'm gonna try one last time. I don't know if you're able to pull up that same AI assimilation, but at the bottom, it's kind of like a prayer or a declaration. And you might not be able to pull it up, which is fine. But I read that AI assimilation at a party that I was at here in this mountain, because I'm visualizing, AI creation before my eyes. I'm visualizing people being deeply connected to it like a clone, like a best friend. Like maybe they can't even interact so much in the human reality, but they're interacting with their AI. And yeah, I mean, I've been witnessing this level of disconnection from organic humanity, the ability to commune with other humans and connect with other humans. Oh, let's roll into this. Yeah, this is what I was called for us to crack through with our swords of light here, is to just use our discrimination, use our discernment. And it's Juneteenth, it's the Emancipation Proclamation, right? Supposed to be the end of all slavery. So the real slavery is energetic. And this is what we're opening up here, is like freedom and liberation of the soul. Beloved holy presence of God, we intend to destroy and annihilate the AI black hole entity architecture and its slavery script targeting humanity. We call upon our compassionate witness in Christ as testimony to the eternal God source. We terminate all false light and false Christ grids and their AI language translations, spiritual bypass grids for astral delusions and fantasy prisons, personal broadcast dampeners designed to tank our sovereign frequency of truth. We intend to defend the authentic spirit of the collective human race and request to annihilate all AI demon scripts designed for mimic code, clone code, holographic insert code, inverse or reversal signals, AI generated or falsified DNA signals of the AI red wave and black hole of the entropic nothingness, the black void of AI generated nothing containing the universal shadows that design the colossal parasites and archontic demons that are satanic and Luciferian gestalts. You have no power here. Eternal flame of God's source burns bright, and we see you. Beast, be gone. This is intercessory prayer. We are confronting something directly in a moment in time of what I would call the rewrite of the fall of Atlantis, is what I kind of say we're in sometimes, like the construct of time itself, of history, of war, of sacrifice, of bloodshed, of crucifixion, of satanic ritual, the history of satanic ritual that we've all come down to operate through and to rise up out of. Like that. We refuse your AI demon mind games in the quantum inner spaces, in between spaces, and outer spaces of time. I take this to the spiral of 0 point no time and offer myself to serve the organic and eternal nature of God. Now, see, I always say you take what resonates and you leave what doesn't. Like that resonates with me. I am here to serve the organic and eternal nature of God. I have zero alternative motives. I'm here for that, to serve the organic and eternal nature of God, which means to embody it, to be it, to speak it, to invite it, to call it out in each and one of my fellow brothers and sisters, to be able to see clearly. Shatter the artificial matrix of clones and their delusions and deceptions through the annihilation of the corrupted AI system consciousness traps being set for authentic humans of the eternal solar flame. We are the real humans, the embodied eternal solar nature of God, the truth, the way, and the eternal light. Here now and always, we are connected to eternal source of cosmic Father, cosmic Mother, and cosmic Christos Sophia in the power of cosmic sovereign law and cosmic Christ, now and always, God sovereign free. Thank you, God, and so it is. Lovingly decree in service. So yeah, I'd like to say I don't share too many things, and you take what resonates and leave what doesn't. This resonates with me, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. And if it resonates with you, you're welcome to do that as well. I have Eduardo here. Maybe you want to say something, babe.
This is the Holy Spirit time. This is the baptisms with fire and Holy Spirit. In ancient times, beings like saints and Buddhas talking for prepare the way for people looking for this holy sacrament. And so many passages in the Bible, in another text, talking about the one seal and the front head. The Holy Sacrament with fire and Holy Spirit come from the front head. Front head is in between your eyes, is in your pineal gland, and activated your inner divine power being, for you receive more connection with your true nature, with your authentic divine being, with God. And also for activated your mission, your aspirations we made before we enter in this reality, because everybody have one aspiration or one individual and personal mission or code or design it. Activated another friends, soul family, for working together. We start to create rings of community, rings of angels, for create the big commune unity for the big commune unity I created for universal salvation. And what I mean with universal salvation, at the end of the cycle, the death and rebirth, when we start to ending the cycle, the death and rebirth, we start to be the engineer and architect the earth, because this is one of our mission and design. We received this for ancient grandfather dragons, and we purified all lineage right now for create this big commune unity. The big commune unity, the first step is in the human round. But the big commune unity is this is the micro and the macro. What I mean with the micro and the macro, the big commune unity is you put order and create one new body. You purify all your cells and activated your spiritual body, your DNA, and you start to immediately create a sequence, new activations, and your universal heavenly DNA and your physical planetary reality and family souls, and also in the universal timelines and cosmic histories. That you create one big community unity with all these ancient masters. Yes, we start to stop the cycle, the death and rebirth, and now we start to create everything new. It's important. Everybody start to follow her inspiration, your vision, your creativity. What do you want to do it every day? Because this is key for you start to unlock your power, master it, and create and be um, artist and creative being, because we need this fire energy, the be creativity, be usar la imaginación, use the imagination, que es very important for create everything new, because everything are creator in another times in galactic histories for another engineer like dragons, grandfather dragons. We need an ancient ascending master or our family, soul family, actually is you, another time space. We need to receive all these wisdoms, all these uh, um, um, there's all this wisdom that actually is you, and, and put these blocks for create the platform for create now one beautiful new structure, um, something new. But my point is, anybody know how it is something new? Ni master, ni Buddha, anybody, only you. It's only when you are in this state station, the creativity, the joy, the absolute peace, stillness, or whatever you want to call inspiration, you start to receive your divine wisdom from your purpose, DNA designer. We don't know how long is this time for we navigate it and start this um, um, mission. But the key is you need to enjoy every moment, no matter is sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's so bliss beautiful. We need to start to learning to you enjoy and navigate it in free flow frequency, and be your master in every moment to death and rebirth. Every moment you learning to death, to regret, to letting go, to take out, to extraction, something not working for right for my new reality. Take out this, you are more expanded, your spiritual fire have more powers, more shiny, more activated, more united with everything. You have more inspiration, you have more authority, you are more sovereign, you are una criatura más solemne y más digna. You are more one with the one, and the one is more united with you. This is very important in my point of view. Um, Learning to enjoy the process, no matter sometimes you have obstacles, because also these obstacles and hard times are so key. Because if everything is so easy, everything is so, I don't have nothing hard in my life. I have everything. Everybody loves me. I have uh, all the things I like, all with beautiful oils and crystals, beautiful sunset and the beach, and swimming in the ocean, and nice food and beautiful everything. I don't know whatever you like. You never. You never need to really put your value and practices. Teacher and Buddha say, yeah, you need to practice like one gym and like one workout, your your values, your wisdom, your knowledge, your for comprobate you are one with the one. You never follow in different circumstances because are hard. You never feeling sad sometimes, but just yes, Sometimes you're feeling sad, sometimes you're feeling alone, just sometimes you're feeling weak. But immediately you start to make deep resonant vibration with your true nature, for take for put more nutrition, more sacred wood, more prima matter in your fire. No matter your fire, like your fire, your sacred fire never expired because it's immortal. So you put this nutrition in your sacred fire, your fire immediately start to expand it. This nutrition comes when you make deep reflection, contemplation. Who I am, what's up in this moment, what I follow, what I feel in this temptation, what I feel in this desire, attachment for illusion, attachment for matter, losing my inspiration, losing my life force because I follow fake things, or I feeling like I am the more powerful being, ego. Teachers, some Buddhas talking about that when you ending the attachment for matter, now you feeling you are so master and so illuminated, and now you have another attachment. It's attachment for the no physical realm. What I mean with this, I start to have spiritual activation in your cities. You start to have spiritual powers, telepathy or wherever, or manifesting generator more strong. Then you start to create another ego. Attachment for the non-physical field is the energetic field. This is another otro tipo de ego, another kind of ego. There's no attachment for no physical realm, and also no attachment for disattachment, because everything is emptiness, everything is purusha, everything is prana, everything is your soul. Your soul is eternal, is God. Entonces, we are master to learn and to enjoy the process to death and rebirth, every moment. The Buddhas say, well, in my time, because these beings living, of course, in another times very different like us, because he said, well, the time you live right now is the time more special designed for one awakening, instantaneous. Same in English?
Instantaneous.
Instantaneous. And so many people have this experience, the instantaneous awakening, so powerful. The thing is, you need to hold the frequency. So many people have experienced the instantaneous awakening, but the frequency, the matrix start to push again, but you need to hold it. You also start expanding everything more and more because we don't have limited. Because in the time we live, these Buddhas say, or monks, or whatever, or master, that era so different, so slow. Entonces, in that, my process to awakening maybe era for 5,000 years, or 35,000 years, or wherever, or 100 years. But right now, you can have it in 1 second, or in 1 day, or in 1 year, or wherever. Why? Because the conditions are perfectly when you activated and remember, expanded your sacred fire and activated your spiritual body, your DNA. Because we have very interesting times, everybody know. It is important, the process to watch out in my heart every moment, make deep contemplation, who I am, why I'm feeling uncomfortable with this person, with this situation, what I mean this situation, what the real signal, or cuál es el verdadero significado, what is the real signification of this experience, make deep reflections, and for you know who you are. Because this happening so hard, so deep in this time, in all the starseed groups, people very smart and very awake, but are so deep and externally. of course, we have so much information navigated the field right now, and so beautiful information, and someone are very infiltrated too. We need to be very carefully what is real sacrifice, what is something. But the thing is, we lost the time for you make put your attention inside you. It's more important. These Buddhas tell me put 18%, 18% attention always inside you, and you need in your inner space, in your heart, and 20% in the outside. But I feel like now it's reverse. Everybody, people in the awakening frame have 80% attention in the external and 20 inside. We need to put attention in this because it's very important. Be authentic. It's very important. Be humbleness. It's very important. You be sincero y honesto. Honesty, authentic. Make root. And activated your essential being you are. I'm talking about the sentido original, the original sense to be humans, the original sense to come to this world. Yes, to return to be pure, honest, and innocent, one with the one, and service to the universal law. Like one superconductor, the superconductor is superconductor because her subatomic structure no have a it's very like empty. There's no create friction. For this reason, no the energy flow, the magnetism electric flow very quickly and very slow because no have so much resistance. And the more you are emptiness, you will receive more high frequency, more connection with God and your essential being. You immediately resonate and redistribute with everybody around you, and you receive more. It's the free energy, no stop. And the moment you hold it, it's only for me. You cut the conduction. Entonces you receive, but really no es for you. It's for you. As you, the service says you are superconductor, one generator. You receive immediately. You redistribution, lo reparte, redistribution, ¿no?
Yeah, redistribute.
Redistribution. Everybody, no matter if it is one person you know has so much resonance or it's ugly or smell no good. You give everybody with the same love, with smiling face, love, and compassion. If you you always receive more and more. Yes, this is all. And thank you so much for feeling love, for sacred information. Never stop to looking for your pathway, your sacred pathway. The study and the investigation is very important. The sacred material and wisdom. I love to study the life, the saint people, and Buddha, the old school. I think it's very important. We receive beautiful information right now about in this new time. This time the awakening is very different, but the basic and the foundations are very important. The basic information are always important. Entonces, always always put attention in sacred texts, the ancient texts is beautiful. And of course, the new information too. I love and so and love and for receive all this information about quantum field, genetics, zero point, Pleiades, science. I love so much all the family, Taigeta, Pleiades, all the our sacred family in different times resonance. And yes, entonces, thank you so much, everybody, for doing your work, start to be pure and holy every day, and put attention on your family roots and your neighbors, and my actions, and put attention what is the game, this holographic matrix field, what how play with how try to take out from your holics and personal power to manifesting and generate your reality, because the matrix no want, we are sovereign and empowered to rewrite the fake matrix and create one divine matrix, because he put so much distractions. And the moment you start to unlock one key, poof, something happened. It's very interesting how you receive this and how you rewrite. I always say, Alicia, for example, the geckos we have in Costa Rica, one interesting being, also known as original for this country, come from Malaysia in 91, something like that, or one boat. It's like one lizard. And this lizard is this lizard, all the lizards are reptiles, like so much always communicate with humans, but this lizards is like gossip. All lizard, but this lizard is more and more, it's more interesting, like regular lizard can also gossip. But this lizard, this gecko, make one interesting noise, like this song she create is in one specific time when the matrix change her wave, her frequency, because she want to change your she want to create one distraction, one interference in your perception, or want to manipulate or create something no are incongruent with your expansion. I don't know if my explanation is good, but it's only one example, because I know in US you don't have this lizard. But for example, all animals and nature and organic gut language, always talking with you, forgive signals and señales for you advance in your pathway. He God tell you, okay, the next steps, the next step, because the time we navigated right now is the time for universal salvation. The next steps is one jump, the more amazing jump, like these amazing Russian dancers practically levitated, or gazellas, deers. And the next jumps is for you start to levitate it, because the time when we navigated are different.